So you want to learn how to get 360 waves fast? No, you don't, because if you did, you would have had them already. Let's go, man. Yo, what's good, YouTube fam? D-Chose back again with another educational video for y'all, man. So today, y'all seen the title. You want to know how to get 360 waves fast, so let's get into it, man. I'm going to come at y'all today with 6 simple key points that y'all got to keep in mind whenever you're trying to get your waves as fast as possible. Pay attention. So, first things first, before you can ever start your waves, you need to have the correct hair length to start your waves, man. So y'all got to understand that all waves is just laid down curls. If your hair curls or coils of any kind, you have a high percentage of you being able to get waves, and decent waves at that, man. Already off rip, you're at an advantage if you have coily hair. So if you got a small fro, like maybe a 3 guard or a 2 guard length of fro, then you could get away with not cutting your hair. You might be able to just brush it down into waves from that fro. But the likelihood of you getting the waves you want is better if you were to scalp. We all gotta go through it. Now I ain't saying you gotta scalp and go all the way like military style, like ashy head, bald head. You don't gotta scalp that crazy, but you do have to give your hair some time, like some length, to where you can actually train the curls to lay down like you need them to lay down. So I would suggest, what I did was, I went all the way down to a 1 guard, like probably like a 1 guard open or a 1 guard close, and I just trim all my hair down to that, just bit the bullet, and then you just gotta start brushing, man. Start putting that brush work in. The sooner you start putting that brush work in and laying them curls down, the sooner them waves will start formulating fast. Next point, man, you can't brush your hair without having a hairbrush. So obviously you're gonna need your brush. If you already had waves, then you already know what's coming. But if you just starting out for the first time, you want to get you a soft brush when you first start, because once you scalp your head gonna be tender. That's facts, bro. Your head gonna be mad tender, and if you go in there off rip with a hard brush, it's gonna feel like you scraping your brain off, your scalp off, and that ain't gonna feel too pleasant. So if you're first starting off, you should start off with a soft brush and then gradually go up and work your way up to the hard brush throughout as your hair gets longer. So soft, and then I would say maybe like a month in, then you can upgrade to a medium bore brush, and then once you've been wolfing like 2 months, you're gonna upgrade to a hard brush, and that way you got some experience, your head toughened up a little bit from the brush, and then you be straight, you good. All right, now next thing you gotta do to get waves as fast as possible, you gotta wear your do-rag at night when you go to sleep. Y'all can't be missing sleep with the do-rag one night, 2 nights go by, your hair wake up, it's all frizzy, it's all against the grain, all tumbled and flumbled up, man. On the weekends, you ain't wearing your do, you ain't ragging up, and then you expect for your waves to be 360, no forks, man. Now, I'm not saying I got the perfect waves, and I do sleep with a do-rag like 10 nights out of 10, and I still got forks. But I'm just saying, like, if you want waves as fast as possible, man, you gotta rag up. But one thing I will say, I used to make this mistake very often. When I tie my do-rag, I would tie it too tight. You don't want to tie your do-rag too tight where you're having pain in the back of your head and you can't even go to sleep because you got a headache, man. Like, that's not good either. And I don't even know if tying your do-rag too tight and cutting out the circulation over time could cause balding or whatnot, something like that. So just avoid all that, man. Tie your do-rag snug to where it's not gonna slip off when you like turning your head, tossing and turning when you're sleeping at night. But don't tie it too tight, and don't tie it too loose. So, but you gotta make sure that you ragging up for sure though. That's vital. If you ain't ragging up, you can forget the whole, you might like even just be good with a comb. You get like at least 3 waves with a comb and then ragging up versus no rag and just brushing all the time, you feel me? Because that's gonna mess up, unless you got like silk pillows. I would say if sometimes you don't want to rag up, it would be a great investment for you to get silk pillows. That's what I did. Regardless, I rag up every night, but it just make it a little smoother, Some nights you might not want to one night. you chilling, right? And then you got the silk pillows. You can sleep as comfortable as you like. Turn your head as much as you want, man. Go crazy, go stupid, because you got the silk. So it pays to invest in your hair and your health that way. Oh yeah, also on the Durag, another thing you could do to make sure that everything's laid down. All right, one thing you'll notice, sometimes when you put your Durag on, you'll be ragging up and you got your rag on. I don't know if anybody else has this problem. It's very likely though that this spot right here, this crown spot, will be a little loose. Like when you rag up and you tighten it, you can like pull your Durag down a little bit. So you tighten it like that right there, yada yada. This is just like a quick tie on real quick. I don't necessarily tie my Durag this loose or this unorganized, but this is what I mean. Like you yank your Durag down, pull it snug, but you'll still have this loose space right here, and it's like your crown not really getting the full compression like it's supposed to. So one thing that I found could help with that, to make sure that everything gets laid down and all the spaces are filled in, is something called a crown patch. It's right here. It's this little square patch of cloth, or actually silk. You don't want cloth, man. You want silky Durag. So a little patch of silk, you throw it right there as if it would be under the Durag. This is just over to show you an example. You throw it right there, and that space where the Durag would usually be loose, boom, fills in that space, boom, fill it right in. So if you want to make sure everything getting compressed as good as it should be, go ahead and throw you a crown patch on and you'll be alright, man. Everything will get compressed like it needs to. Boom, you're welcome. Next step, you gotta learn how to cut your own hair. Now, this is not like necessarily 100% needed, but you gotta understand the convenience that comes with being able to cut your own hair, being able to get a fresh cut whenever you want to, and being able to do it exactly how you want to do it. So like, you cut your own hair, man, like I always preach, you saving that money that you would spend on the barbershop. You get to experiment. Like, say you wanted to do a little higher fade, or do a burst fade, do a low fade, do a medium fade, and you know, you wouldn't like one, you want to switch it up to another type of fade this week, and then you want to do another next week. Man, you can do as much as you want. You can go crazy. You can do like a drop fade next week. You can grow it back in, do a temp. I mean, of course you can do all this with a barber, and I'm not stopping you from that. I'm just saying that it's way more convenient, bro. Like, you can even start it as a side hustle. If you learn how to cut hair, which is real simple, you pick up some clippers, you want to make some extra bread on the side, all you got to do, cut some other people's hair, like $5, $10. You ain't got to be too crazy with it, as long as they know what they're getting into. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no barber license, but a little $5, $10 cut here and there, you know how to cut hair, and now you making money, right? Instead of spending it every 2 weeks. That's just how I see it. Y'all can do what y'all want to ultimately, but I see it as nothing but benefits come from doing your stuff like your own way, man. But I will say, if you gonna cut your hair, I didn't do this for the longest. Now, like, looking back, I would have had a lot better haircuts had I done this. You have to get a self-cut system. Now, you don't have to get necessarily the $100 most expensive self-cuts, like the literal self-cut system that they have, but I would say invest in a trifold mirror, man, because if you can't see all the way around, or you just cutting your hair in a bathroom mirror with like one mirror in your hand and then one looking in the bathroom, and then you holding it and you trying to look and do all that freaking cutting while you looking in this one, and the lighting might not be right, all of that, man, you got all of that, and it's hard to get a fresh cut or a fresh fade when it's like dark and shadowy, because the light coming down from the top, and you got your mirrors right here, you can't really see. So all you gotta do, man, get a trifold mirror, get some good lighting, or even the one with the lights around the rim, set it up. You can see 360 degrees all the way around your head, man. Fresher fades, fresher cuts, and you step your cuts up with that. So start in the mirror if you have to. I know y'all might not have a lot of money to be spending on these clippers and these all these trifold mirrors, but you know, start where you can. But then whenever you get a chance to upgrade, I would definitely suggest, for real, you gotta do that. Next point I want to stress to you, man, you gotta keep your hair moisturized. You have to keep your hair moisturized. You ever notice how when hair is dry, is brittle, it's easily to break, and it's not as conforming? Your hair is dry, it pretty much does what it wants to do. Like, you can't really manipulate it like that. When it's moisturized, when it's smooth, when it's silky, it's way easier, man. Smooth and silky is always the way to go. Dry and flaky, if you dry, you stand a chance of getting dandruff, flakes in your hair. Your wave's not gonna be looking as good. They're not gonna be popping. I had somebody tell me that they don't even use wave grease. They just straight water from the shower, rag up, and that's fine. You could do that, but to me, man, if you keep your hair moisturized, if you find a good moisturizer that's not like glunky and clumped up, it'd be way better for you. So what I do, Waves Pomade by Shea Moisture. That's what I use to keep my hair moisturized. You put that on there after you get out the shower. Your waves be thick, they be nice and smooth, easy to work with, man. It holds them down. It's not gunky at all. It's easy on, easy off. And one thing, man, you don't want to wash your hair too often if you're trying to get your waves right, because I found that in my own experience, when I wash my hair and I definitely like shampoo it real good, the shampoo strips all the waves of all the oils. And it's just like, hair is kind of like that hotel soap. You know that hotel soap, even on your skin, you rub it, you like it's like rubber. Yeah, that's how the shampoo do to your waves. So be careful with that. Unless you get like a real good shampoo. Like, I'm still experimenting with the best shampoos for the waves and whatnot. But unless you got a real like good one that's like cleans it, doesn't necessarily strip it of all the oils, and it's still moisturizing to your hair, then I would say just shampoo your hair probably like once a week, man, whenever you feel like you need to. You might have to do it more often if you do sports or something like that where you constantly sweating. Ain't nothing stopping you from every day just rinsing it thoroughly. That's all you gotta do. You don't even gotta wash it too in depth. Just make sure you rinsing it thoroughly and you'll be alright, man. You'll be hold off. You get to keep those essential oils and whatnot in your hair to keep it moisturized. So yeah, that's that. The two main points I want to stress, if you don't take nothing else away from this video, I want you to take this for the waves, man. Make sure you brushing your hair, number one, and make sure you wearing your do-rag, number two. If you don't do nothing else, like me, I don't even brush my hair too crazy. Like, I literally, some people, they take 4 and 5 hours doing brush sessions to get their waves perfect, no forks. I got a few forks in there. I ain't gonna need a lie to you. I don't like put in that maintenance, but just like casual, man. Just like casual. I brush like what, 5-10 minutes after I get out the shower, put my oils in it, or not my oils, but my wave pomade by Shea Moisture, and then I throw the rag on, and then when I wake up in the morning, I'll take the rag off, brush it again for like another 5 minutes, throw the rag on again to lay it down before I head out for the day. And that's just pretty much what I do. Like, once you get the waves, that's pretty much all you gotta do to maintain them. It's pretty easy. Now, when you're trying to get the waves, like when you're trying to work towards the waves, you do gotta put in a lot more brush work to make sure that you're training that hair to lay down and go and get them perfect waves like you want to. Because once you get past a certain length in your hair, it's kind of hard to train and redo however you want to. For example, when people want to make the switch over to a different wave pattern, when they want to switch from 360s to 540s or the 720s, they gotta scalp. They gotta start their whole like regrow. They gotta cut against the grain. They gotta pull their hair all the way down so they can retrain their hair. So if you're not doing that properly when you cut your hair down, then it's gonna be way harder for you to train it when it gets higher if you're not putting in that brush work, man. So put in that brush work. And don't lose progress by not wearing your do-rag. That's what you gotta do, man. You stick to those key points, man. Get you a brush. Keep your hair moisturized. Wear a do-rag. Learn how to cut your hair. You'll be alright, man. You get waves pretty fast if you do that. Stick to it and be consistent, man. That's all I got for today's video, man. If y'all took anything away from this video that helps you, please be sure to drop a like, drop a comment, and subscribe if you can, please, man. That'll mean a lot to me. Appreciate y'all. D-Chose, we gone.